Next type of public building is hostel. Okay, hostel is a building providing residential accommodation with or without food facility for a selected group of people. Is nothing but the hostel. And different types of hostels are there, maybe for students or maybe for employees or tourist hostels. And uh, also there may be hostels for uh, ladies. Okay, separate ladies hostels will be there. Okay, so here we are going to consider two types, in that students hostel and employees or tourist hostel. Okay, here student hostels are attached to the concerned school or college and are run by the respective managements. Students of kindergarten level of an elementary school to research scholar of a university are to be provided with both residential accommodation and food facility in the hostel. Okay, generally whatever hostels are there for students, maybe from for different age groups. Okay, uh, what kind of college or school is there, according to that uh, different students are going to live in hostels. Okay, and here in that case we can provide residential accommodation as well as food facility, or sometimes only residential accommodation we are going to provide them. Okay, then another type of hostel is there, that is nothing but the employees or hostel. Okay, here whatever employees or tourist hostel is there, it should be located in the heart of the town so that the inmates save time of travel from and to the hostel. Okay, means uh, in case of some employees are living in a hostel, such a hostel should be near to the uh, their working space or whatever working area is there. Okay, or near to the location of work, because of to minimize the time of travel. Okay, then after that uh, such hostel should be well protected, as its inmates may have different working hours and stay at different times in the hostel. Okay, here whatever employees are there, if employees are working in the same company, okay, or in a different, but their shifts will be different one. Okay, so according to their shifts they are going to work in companies and at a working place. Okay, so they are staying at different times in the hostel. So whatever security or protection is required, we have to ensure about it. Here also we have to consider whatever hostel hostels are there for employees or tourists. It should be near to the good restaurants. Okay. Or if it is not attached with a mess, then it should be near to the good restaurants. Okay. The site should present good ventilation, sanitation, and healthy surroundings. Uh, by considering these things, we have to go for the planning of employees or tourist hostel. Okay. uh, Now we are going to discuss next point, that is the site selection for hostel. Okay. It depends to whom we are going to construct the hostel. According to that, we have to go for the selection of a site. Okay. The site should present pleasant, cheerful, and less noisy surrounding, conducive for studies around the clock. Okay. Means wherever we are going to select the site, at that place we should get breeze, then after that free environment, as well as landscaping should be there, then pleasant environment, uh, hygienic environment should be there. Okay. Then the site should get fresh breeze from the free from pollutants. Okay. Good quality of water meeting the full demand should be available. Uninterrupted power supply should be available at that site. Then after that, um, different kind of facilities should be available at that site, such as post, telegraph, and a telephone facility. Then uh, whatever working place is there, or whatever school colleges are there, should be at a reasonable distance. Means whatever walking distance is there in between the hostel and school colleges should not exceed of a 5 minutes time. Okay. uh, so in that way we have to go for the selection of the site for hostel. Then next point is there in that hostel, that is nothing but the planning of a hostel. The plan of the hostel may be of two types. One is the open type hostel and second one is the closed type hostel. Okay. Firstly, we will discuss about the open type hostel. Here, in open type hostel, we can go for the planning of I section, L section, T, Y, F, U, E, Z, X, or H shaped, or of combination thereof. Okay. In that way, welcome back. We are discussing about the open type hostel. Here we can go for the various plans such as I, L, T, Y, F, U, X, E, H, or maybe combination of thereof. Okay. It has some advantages and disadvantages are there of open type of hostel. Firstly, we will discuss about the advantages. Okay. uh, if we plan the open type of hostel, then we will get the better ventilation in all the rooms. Okay. And whatever disadvantages is there, that is nothing but the such type of buildings offers less security, as they have too many entrances. Okay. As well as it is difficult to control and regulate the movements of the inmates. Means no one can uh, keep watch on the inmates, or maybe students uh, in an open type of hostel. Okay. So we have to consider these things also. Uh, then second type of hostel is there, that is nothing but the closed type. Uh, in a closed type, we can go for the various plan, maybe of square, rectangle, circular, elliptical, hexagonal, octagonal. Uh, in that way, we can go for the uh, different plans in a closed type hostel. Okay, here in this also some advantages and disadvantages are there. Firstly, we will discuss about the advantages. Closed type hostel provides better security as the inmates, as the movement of the inmates be easily regulated, means whatever warden are there, those warden can keep watch on the uh, movement of the inmates. Okay, then they create more inmate contact between the inmates of the hostel. That is also one of the advantage. If we plan the closed type hostel. Okay, and then some disadvantages are also there. Here, if we go for the closed type hostels, then whatever external rooms are there, to those rooms getting excellent ventilation, but whatever interior rooms are there, to them not getting the proper ventilation, daylighting, and breeze also. So in such cases, we have to go for the provision of ducts or OTS. Okay, that is the disadvantage of a closed type hostel. And another disadvantage is there, that is nothing but the any noise produced may get reverberated and echoed. Okay, means if a small disturbance is happen, or any incidents happened, then whatever total hostel get disturbed. Okay, so that is the uh, disadvantage of a closed type of hostel. Okay, also uh, sometimes we go for the planning of separately ladies hostel or working women's hostel. Okay, so while planning such type of hostels, we have to take due care, means generally we have to prefer the closed type hostel. Okay, and then whatever building is there of a hostel should be reasonably away from the any public road. Also, no door or window should open on to a public through fear. Okay, so these things we have to consider, as well as no person should be able to enter or leave the hostel without the notice of the warden. So we have to focus on security also. Okay, so these are the things especially we have to concentrate whenever you are going to plan separate ladies hostel. Okay, then so these are the various types are there of hostels as per the planning. Okay, then next point is there in hostel, that is nothing but the various okay, in a hostel these components should be there. Okay, so in that first component is a main entrance hall. Okay, then warden's office, then residential area, dining hall, kitchen, recreation room, storeroom, and sanitary units. Okay, so these components or units should be included in a hostel. Okay, so here we will discuss one by one in a detail. Okay, firstly we will discuss about the main entrance hall. whatever main entrance hall is there, it should be a spacious one, and in that we should be able to provide the uh, general notices and all those things. Means a general notice board should be there. Okay. And whatever staircase is there, staircase should be near to the main entrance hall. Okay. So according to that, we have to go for the planning of a hostel. Then next thing is there, that is nothing but the warden's office. Okay. Here, warden may be provided with separate residential accommodation close to the hostel, or in a hostel itself. Okay, we can provide the one or two rooms uh, as a warden office. Okay. Then here, whatever residential warden of a floor area should not be less than 20 meter square. Means whatever room or unit we are going to provide to the warden office, it should not be less than the 20-meter square area. Okay. Then next thing is their residential area. In a student's hostel, accommodation is to be provided for 210 days to 230 days in a year, because of due to the summer vacation and winter vacation. By considering that, whatever number of days students are living in a hostel is a 210 days to 230 days. Okay. So uh, whenever we are doing planning for residential area of the uh, students, then if we are going to accommodate a single uh, student in a room, okay, we can say single seater room, then its area should not be area should be of 10 meter square to 15 meter square. Then if we provide double seater rooms, then 15 meter square to 20 meter square area should be there. For three seaters room, 20 meter square to 25 meter square area should be there, and for four seaters room, uh, 25 meter square to 36 meter square floor area we have to provide it. Okay. Generally, we have to prefer the 3 or 4 seaters rooms. Okay. Because of it is desirable to keep the students learning the art of coexistence, which is a must for anybody as he grows up. Okay. So they will live in a group, they can share their views, ideas, or things with their friends. Okay. So basically we have ideal, whatever ideal condition is there for residential area of a area in a hostel is to provide 3 to 4 students in a room. Okay. So in that room we have to provide bed, separate bed, table, chair, almari, and wardrobe also. Okay, to each and every individual students. uh, so here, whatever space is required to provide each and everything in that particular room, we have to think about that. And after placing or after fixing its orientation, also we have to ensure sufficient circulation space is provided. Okay. According to that, we have to go for the planning of a residential area in a hostel. Okay. So generally here, whatever bed size is there. Okay. We have to consider uh, for a single bed 1 meter by 2 meter size should be there. Okay. Whatever single bed is there, whose dimension should be 1 meter to 2 meters should be there. Okay, by considering that, we have to go for the fixing the furniture work. Okay, or furniture units in that particular room. Then next thing is there, that is nothing but the dining hall. It is either incorporated along with the residential rooms or separately provided, such that it involves not more than 5 minutes walk from the residential block. Okay, means whatever dining hall is there, it should be nearer to the residential blocks. So whatever walking distance is there should not be more than 5 minutes. And while designing the dining hall, we have to take due care at a time in a dining hall should accommodate 33% to 50% uh, strength of students of strength of the hostel at a time. Okay, and uh, also we have to consider 1.2 meter square area per dinner is required. By considering that, we have to go for the fixing the size of the dining hall, means what is the strength of that hostel, and at a time in a dining hall should accommodate 33% to 50% strength of the student. Okay, and for per student, okay, or per dinner, we have to consider 1.2 meter square area. Okay, by considering that, we have to go for the deciding the size of that dining hall. Okay, also we have to provide the uh, dining tables and chairs in a dining hall. But here also we have to take due care on a single table, not more than uh, 6 dinner should be there. Okay, means whatever facility we are going to provide uh, uh, as a uh, table and chair. Okay, so a single table to 6 seater tables provided with the chairs. Okay, more than 6 per table may not be convenient for easy serving and cleaning. For that purpose, we have to provide a 6 seater table only. Okay, uh, so uh, we have to consider these things, and we have to go for the planning of a dining hall in a hostel. Then after that, another thing is there, that is nothing but the kitchen. Kitchen should have a minimum area of 8 meter square to 12 meter square, and it should be well ventilated and provided with a exhaust fan to expel hot air and smoke, and sufficient amount of windows and doors we have to provide to the kitchen. And whatever floor is there in a kitchen, it should be smooth, non-slippery, easily cleaned, and non-absorbent one. Okay, so such type of flooring we have to provide in a kitchen. uh, then here, whatever kitchen is there, it should be provided, or it should be placed near to the dining hall. In that way, we have to go for the planning. Then next thing is there, that is nothing but the recreation room. The recreation room comprising of a reading room, getting newspapers and magazines arranged on tables and provided with chairs, to be designed at zero point 0.5 meter square to 1.5 meter square per magazine or reader. Okay, means whatever space requirement is there in a recreation room, we have to consider at a magazine section or newspaper section as a zero point 0.5 meter square to 1.5 meter square. Okay, also we have to provide the radio and television facility in a recreation room, and for that we have to consider space requirement as a 1 meter square per resident. Okay, and at a time 25% of the strength of the hostel should get accommodated in a recreation room. By considering that, we have to go for the planning of a recreation room or deciding the size of the recreation room. Along with that, apart from that, also we have to plan the various indoor games such as chess, cards, caroms, table tennis uh, in a recreation room, and that should be designed by considering the space requirement as a zero point 0.2 meter square to 0.4 meter square uh, per resident area. Okay, by considering that, we have to go for the planning of a recreation room. Part is there, that is nothing but the sanitary units in a hostel. Okay, here we are going to discuss those sanitary units uh, by considering the for males and for females. Okay, here water closets, we have to provide one water closet. We have to provide for every 8 persons or part thereof for males, and for females one water closet we have to provide for every 6 persons or part thereof. Okay, then after that, ablution taps in a similar way as like hospital building. We have to provide one ablution tap for each and every water closet. Okay, then whatever urinals, uh, one urinal we have to provide for 25 persons or part thereof, and for females urinals are not required. Then for wash basins, uh, one wash basin we have to provide for every 8 persons or thereof in a male section, and in a female section we have to provide one wash basin for every 6 persons or part thereof. Then whatever baths are there, one bath we have to provide uh, for every 8 persons in a male section, and in a female section one bath we have to provide for every 6 persons or part thereof. In that way, we have to go for the provision of the sanitary units or uh, and water fittings. Okay, so these are the various components are there in a hostel. As per the requirement, you have to go for the planning. Then here different principles of planning we have to consider while doing plan the plan for a hostel. In that we have to go for the aspect, prospect, privacy, furniture, grouping, circulation, flexibility, elegance. Okay, so these things we have to consider here, and you have to go for the planning. Okay, you can see a typical layout plan for a hostel building. Here this is the entrance. Okay, at both the sides we are going to plan various rooms, and at a corner place we are going to provide the toilet blocks in this way, and whatever remaining space is there we are keeping as an open duct. Okay, and this is the corridor. Okay, and here we are going to provide the dining hall, and here kitchen. So this is the typical layout plan of a hostel building for students. Okay,